Hello students. Yesterday we have discussed what is the AC current and what is the AC voltage and how we are obtaining AC current and voltage. So there we have seen that AC is changing its direction continuously with time. So whenever AC current will flow or anywhere AC voltage is present, then that will continually vary with time here. So continuous variation with time in AC, this is the first important factor of it, because whenever we will get the steady value, constant value, then the AC current will be converted into the direct current. So later we will also see the devices that is used to convert AC into the DC there. So here, as we have discussed that over a complete cycle the mean value of AC is 0. Reason, in AC we are getting half of the cycle in positive direction and half of the cycle in negative direction. So these two directions cancel out each other, and finally we are getting 0 value of the over the complete cycle 0 value of the current here. So it means that if we have to find the average value or mean value of the AC, then we cannot take the complete cycle here. So we have to take the half cycle. Either you have to take the positive half cycle or negative half cycle. So you can just use any one of the value of the AC. So simple thing is that it means that we are going to take the value of current here as a mean that is flowing in the same time for the DC. So next topic our that we are going to study, this is mean value of current and mean value of the alternating voltage here. So the definition for it, if you have to define, then the value of DC sorry student, here the value of DC which sends the same charge in the circuit in the same direction, same time as it's sent by the AC itself in its half of the time period. So here the factor that I want to just make you understand, this is if our omega t, this is suppose voltage, or if you have to just find out the current here and for which you are plotting the graph, then in the graph we are getting such kind of graph for the AC, means positive and negative half cycle we are obtaining here. So whenever you will see only the half cycle, means 0 to t by 2 for this time, if you will see this cycle, then over this cycle this is behaving or this is flowing only in one direction, and you know that the unidirectional current, one directional current is called the direct current here. So it means that the mean value of the AC that is equal to the value of DC or direct current which send the same charge or same current in the circuit for the same value of the time here. So here for same value of time means for 0 to t by 2, the value of the current sent by the AC, if you are going to take the mean of that value, that will be equal to the value of the current sent by the DC there. So we have to take in same time what is the value of the same value of current sent by alternating and voltage and alternating also direct voltage here. So simple thing is that we are trying to convert our complete cycle AC cycle into the DC cycle, so that we can find out the mean value, because whenever we will take whole of the cycle, then its mean value will be equal to 0, and that we have proved already in yesterday class. So here let's see what is the value of or mean or average value of the AC current first. So as you know that already, AC current is given by the formula, this is some I is equal to I0 sine omega t. This is the instantaneous value of the AC current. Now if we have to find out the small charge sent in small time dt by the AC here, so this is given by dq is equal to I times dt. So in a small time dt, this is the charge sent by the alternating current in the circuit. So here if you have to just calculate this value, so if we will put the value of sine I here, so this is I0 sine omega t dt. Now we have to find out the value of charge for half of the cycle of the AC. So it means that the time will vary from 0 to t by 2 here. only for half of the cycle we are trying to find out the charge sent by the AC here. So if we will integrate this whole dq over the integral from 0 to t by 2, then it will provide us the value of charge sent by AC. Later you can also see what is the charge sent by DC. So suppose as DC is the direct current, then there this will be the equal to the charge sent by DC also. So here let's put the value of dq. So value of dq we have, this is I0 sine omega t into dt we have, and we can take I0 as a common. Then we have to integrate sine omega t with respect to t here. So after integration you will obtain here sine omega t, its value is minus of cos omega t, and upon omega for this factor we will get, so minus upon omega I have just taken common. So inside the bracket we will have cos omega t, this will be equal to 0 to t by 2. Now we can write cos omega t here. In place of omega we can write 2 pi by capital T, as we have to put the value of t in terms of t here, so we will convert it in this way. Also you can convert here the value of omega in t also, so this is 2 pi by t, so here you can also put it. So finally we will have this is I0 capital T upon 2 pi, and inside the bracket if we will put the upper limit here, this will be equal to 2 pi by t into t by 2, minus if you will put lower limit, this is cos 0 here. Let's just calculate the value of this one. So this is the final value of q is obtained, I0 t upon 2 pi, and here if you will cut this through 1 and 2 is cancelled out, then cos pi, this is the value obtained here, and cos pi you know that its value will be equal to minus 1, and cos 0 its value is also equal to 1. So finally in bracket we will have value minus 1, and this two total will be equal to minus of 2. So we can directly write down minus 2 here, and this 2 will be cancelled out, and minus in the place we will get I0 upon pi into t here. So this is the value of the charge that we have obtained from here. Now we can find out what is the value of the average current here by using this charge. So as you know that the current is given by the charge flow in the circuit per unit time. So here if we have to find out I average or I mean here, so this will be given by charge flow in the circuit for the time for which we have to calculate the average, and the time taken by the circuit. So here time is taken by the circuit to give this average value, that is half of the time here. So half of the time is 0 to t by 2. So finally time we have, this is in t by 2 time we have to find out the mean value of the current. So now you can solve it, then we will obtain 2q by t here, and we can put value of q from here that we have calculated. So this will be equal to 2 by t, I0 upon pi, and here t. So t will be cancelled out, and finally we will get here 2 upon pi I0. So this is the value, average value of the alternating current in any circuit. And if you will put the value of pi and you will solve this whole of the 2 by pi factor here, so you will get 0.637 times I0. So the average value of the alternating current in our alternating circuit or AC circuit, that is equal to 0.637 times the peak value of the current that is flowing in our circuit here. So simple, I think this is now clear what is the mean value. So and why we are taking only for the half cycle, because whenever you will take full cycle 0 to t, if you will see, then for 0 to t its value will be equal to 0, and that we have already done in the previous class. So I think here the mean value and average value of the current, that is now clear. So next here factor, if we have to find out the average or mean value of the alternating EMF. So here in this whole of the equation you can do it by yourself, because it is very easy to do for the alternating EMF also, because alternating EMF is given by E is equal to some E0 sine omega t. So in the same way as you have this one value, so you have to find out the charge sent by this one, and you can just use the concepts here also, or you can convert this one by in the current by the help of the resistance R, and after converting into the current, obviously whole of the procedure will be the same here. So by a similar procedure you can prove that the mean value of alternating voltage that is given by our E average, it is given by 2 upon pi peak value of the alternating voltage. So as peak value of alternating voltage is E0, again if you will find out its value, then this is equal to 0.637 times E0. So this is the average value that is flowing in our circuit for the half cycle, and again for negative half cycle this value is flowing for the circuit, and this is the mean value over the complete half cycle of the AC circuit. So after the discussion of mean square value of current, we can now discuss the root mean square value of the current here. So why first one thing, why we are needing the mean value or RMS value of the current and voltage here. So I told you that in yesterday class, we cannot measure the or detect the alternating current and voltages by galvanometer. So because galvanometer is dependent on the direction of the motion of the charge or current there. So as we are using the deflection method there, so sometimes due to persistence of vision we will not be able to detect whether we are getting positive cycle or negative cycle for the AC. So that's why AC or DC we are detecting, we will not be sure for the measurement with the galvanometer. So that's why we are using the hot wire instruments that are based on the Joule's heating effect here. So that due to this one always we are using in hot wire instruments the mean value or RMS value, because that is more effective, or you can say that more easy to make the instruments based on the RMS and mean values. So that's why particularly we are not using whole of the values here, always we are using mean value or RMS value. So if by for example if you will see the voltage that is coming at home, that is 220 volt supply that we are getting, so that 220 volt supply is the RMS value of the AC here. So that is not the exact value, that is not the peak value. So we can also see what is the peak value, what can a device bear the maximum voltage here. So don't think that only 220 volt it can bear. If we will make some kind of device which is based on the peak value of the current or voltage, so that can even bear greater voltage than our 220 volt voltage. Even sometimes if voltage will increase, then its value it can bear easily that increment in voltage or current. So let's see here first what is the RMS value, that is very important for the measurement of the AC currents here and AC voltages. So again if you will see the name of RMS current, so here RMS means root mean square value here. So first we will calculate mean square value, then after we will take the root of that one, so that is called root mean square value. So that is in short we are calling it RMS value. In another word we are also calling it effective value or virtual value. So sometimes if you are facing the RMS value of current by the name IRMS or I virtual or I effective, so all these name are the same here. So don't be confused whenever you are seeing such kind of name here. So now let's calculate what is the value of RMS, and first before calculating let's define what is the RMS value of the current here. So RMS value of the current is defined as the value of a direct current which produces the same heating effect in a given resistor as it is produced by the given AC when passed for same time. So if we will start to calculate the value of heating effect that is produced in any resistor for the same time for DC and for AC. So if we will see the value of, suppose for 10 seconds we are just flowing or we are allowed to flow the DC currents through the resistor, and we have calculated the heating impact. And again for the same time the AC currents we have started to flow the current, then that will also provide you the same value only for half the cycle there. So here this value is known as the RMS values here. So as one more thing, RMS value is based on the heating effect and direction is not considered here. So that's why we can also integrate the factor here from 0 to T, because it is direction independent. Whenever current will flow either in positive or negative direction, so that will always produce the heating effect. So that's why over the whole of the cycle we can calculate the heating effect, and for whole of the time 0 to T, even for the whole time period, suppose for any AC cycle time period is 4 seconds. So for 4 seconds we have calculated the value of the heating effect by AC, that will be equal to the value of the heating effect just produced by the DC in 4 seconds, because current changing is always same for AC or DC because it is independent of the direction that I have told you in yesterday class already. So next here if we have to calculate the RMS value, then by the definition we have to calculate first what is the heat produced in the resistor due to the AC and DC here. So let's start to calculate our problem again. So to calculate our problem, as you know that already the instantaneous value of AC is given by I0 sin omega t, and also we know that the heat produced in any resistor R in short time dt due to the flow of the current here, so this will be equal to some I square dt here. Clear? So this is the value of current that is produced, value of heat that is produced in any resistor due to the flow of current here. So now we can calculate the whole of the current heat produced during a complete cycle, means from 0 to T we can calculate what is the value of heat produced. So this will be equal to I square R dt here. Now this H that we are seeing, this will be equal to the value of average value or RMS value. Suppose if I effective is the current that is flowing in the circuit for the time capital T in DC, actually we are talking here. Suppose in DC it is flowing the current that is I effective for time T, then that time H can be written as directly for the DC by formula, this is I square effective R into T. So I square RT, you know that. So that is the heat produced by the DC in some time T, and this heat effect by definition of the RMS, this should be equal to this value. So this is the heating effect produced due to the change in the current from 0 to T due to any AC current, and this is due to the DC current for the flow of the current for T seconds here or T time here. So let's write down the value here. This is equal to I effective, just a second, I effective square RT, and here in place of I we can put its value. So it will be equal to I0 square sin square omega t into R. This is equal to dt here. Now then in next line we have to just solve this one. So before solving you can take the factor that is common. So this is I square R, this one is common from here, and finally we can write down 0 to T in this factor, this is sin square omega t, this is dt. Now let's just integrate the sin square omega t here. So finally we have I effective whole square RT, this is equal to I0 square R. You can cancel out R from here and here also, and inside the bracket we have 0 to T sin square omega t dt. This is I0 square, and one thing here, just don't write this. So this is 0 to T, and in place of sin square omega t you can convert it into cos 2 omega t form. Like you know that the cos 2 theta it is equal to 1 minus sin square theta upon 2 here. So let's write down the value here for this one. So as we know the value of sin square omega t in the terms of cos 2 theta, that is cos 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square theta. So let's utilize this one. So from this concept we can write from here, this will be equal to cos 2 omega t minus 1 here and upon whole of this 2. So this can be written as in this way here. Now we can take 2 as a common. So this is I square by 2 and this is 0 to t cos 2 omega t minus 1 and this is dt. Now you can integrate this factor that is given to us now, and after integration you can obtain the value, and its value I will just write here directly the value that we are going to obtain. So this will be equal to I0 square upon 2 here, and if you will integrate the cos 2 omega t, then its value will be equal to sin 2 omega t upon 2 omega minus of, if you will integrate that 1, it will be equal to t here, this is small t, so this is now 0 to t. Now let's put the value of this one. So after putting the values of this sin 2 omega t, and in place of one more thing, in place of omega, now you can write here 2 pi by t, and again in place of omega you can write here 2 pi by t, and now you can put the value of t here and you can solve. So after the solution of the here we will get the final value for the I effective into t. This would be equal to I0 square upon 2, and also here the value that we are getting, this is t here only. So this is the whole of the value that we have obtained after the solution. So finally the t will be cancelled out from here. So if t is cancelled out, then I effective square, this is equal to I0 square upon 2 here. Now from here if you will write down I effective, then this is equal to I0 upon root 2. So this is our final answer. I effective in place of this one, if you are just finding more suitable, then you can write I RMS also. So I RMS value is equal to I0 upon root 2, and if you will solve this value, this is equal to 0.707 into I0. So this is our final answer for the I RMS value of any alternating current here. So it means that over a complete cycle we are getting this RMS value or virtual value or effective value of the current. Now if we have to find out the alternating voltage in the terms of its RMS value, then we can adopt the same formula here also. So let's write down the value of RMS value of the alternating voltage also. So to calculate the alternating voltage, again we need this formula. So we know that the instantaneous induced EMF is given by E0 sin omega t, and according to this one, now you can find out what is the heat produced here in some short time dt. So this is the heat produced, this is given by here is, that is equal to E square upon R into some dt here. So as you know that here I square R in place of I square R, you can write down this value, and you know that this is the heat produced in any resistor R due to the flow of this alternating voltage here. So if we have to now find out over a complete cycle from 0 to t what is the heat produced by the AC voltage, then that can be produced by 0 to t, this factor dH here. So this is our equation 1 now. Now by definition of RMS value, that is it is producing the same heating effect for the same time as equal to the heat produced by the DC for the same time. So let's find out the heat produced by the DC for the time t here, 0 to t we are taking the time, means in t time what is the heat produced by DC. So heat produced by the DC, that will be given by some I effective value, suppose that is the current flowing there in DC. So this is equal to I square, or if we are just finding out in the terms of effective voltage here, so this will be equal to E square upon R into here T. So this is the I square RT, or if you have to write down in terms of this one, this will be E square effective upon R into T here. So let's write down now this value in place of this one. By definition, this heat produced by AC should be equal to heat produced by DC for the same time here T, for the same resistor R. So let's equate them and let's solve them again by the same method that we have adopted before. So for the same method, if you have to adopt, then this is now equal to E effective square upon R into T. So this is equal to it integrated from 0 to T, and this value is E square upon R into dt we have. So R you can take common and you can cancel from here. So finally you will get E effective square into T. This is equal to 0 to T, and in place of E square you can write down this value. So finally you will obtain E square sin square omega t into dt here. Now again you can take E square as a common. So E0 square as a common, then 0 to T sin square omega t dt. So just now we have obtained the value of sin square omega t in the terms of, or in the calculation of the their current, also alternating current. So let's utilize that concept here. So directly if you will solve, then its value is obtained to be equal to t by 2 from here. So the solution of this whole of the integral is t by 2. So finally what we got here after this whole of the mathematical solution, so the value that we have obtained, this is equal to E effective square into T, and this is equal to E0 square T upon 2. So T is cancelled out from here. Finally E effective square, or also we can write it E RMS square. This is equal to E0 square upon 2, and from here E RMS, this is equal to E0 upon root 2, or E RMS is obtained, this is equal to 0.707 into E0. So this is the final value of the RMS value of the voltage for the AC signal here. So I think students, the two things that we have discussed, that is alternating current and alternating voltage here, that two factors are now clear. How can we calculate, what is the value, that is all clear. So after this whole discussion, now you can find out what is the value of the voltage that is coming in our home and what is its peak value, means what is the value of E0 here for this one case. So if you have to find out E0 that is coming in at our home, means what is the maximum value of alternating voltage possible at our home supply. So here, as you know, that the home supply that is coming, that is 220 volt, and this 220 volt is RMS value of the alternating voltage. So as ERMS, we know that this is given by ERMS is equal to E0 upon root 2. Just now we have written it. So E0 upon root 2, or also we have calculated it 0.07 into E0. Now you can find out the value of E0 from here. So this is equal to 2 by 20 on 0.707, and if you will solve this value, so its value is obtained to be 311 volt. So this is the value of the maximum current that is coming at per home for the 220 volt supply. So if you will design any of the device, any of the circuit with help of this peak value of the current, then that device will always can bear up to this voltage. Means whenever the RMS value will change from 220 to another voltage, even it will come to 311 volt, then our device can bear, because for that one maximum voltage is 311 volt. So this is the if you are making device by using this one, that this is for you the safety things for our devices. But basically the devices or the voltage or current AC signals that we are using, that is for the RMS value. But literally we can also use the DC value, and for which we can use the peak value also there. So I think here RMS value, mean value, and what is the just formula to calculate RMS or mean value of voltages and current, that is students all clear to you. So in next class students, we will solve some numerical problem first based on these topics up to now that we have discussed, like alternating voltage, current, its instantaneous value, its peak value, its mean and average value, its RMS value. So these all as we have discussed. So let's solve the numerical in next class, and for today let's end our class here guys. In next class we will start the some more topics of the chapter. So just thank you for all this session.